In this video, I'm going to do a full review of Android TV. So let's get to it. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I've done reviews on 4 Google TV devices. But this is Android TV. This is the successor to Google TV. And I've had this device for probably about a month now, using it as my main streamer. And I've got to say it's a definite upgrade from Google TV. Now, the hardware I'm using is the developer preview kit, the ADT-1 Android TV device. So this is not a consumer product, this is a developer product. Now, at the time of filming this video, the only other Android TV device is the Nexus player made by ASUS. Now, I've ordered mine, but I don't have mine in hand right now. And once I do actually have it, I'll give you a comparison between the two devices. Now, as far as the user interface, it should be identical between both devices because they're running the same software. Under the hood, however, the device you're seeing right now, the ADT-1, is an ARM-based device. The Nexus player is an Intel-based device. So let's quickly run down the specs of this device, the ADT-1. It has a Tegra 4 chipset in it. It has 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of internal storage, Bluetooth 4.0, an Ethernet port, an HDMI port, and it's running Android L, or as we now know, it's Lollipop. It also has dual-channel Wi-Fi. Now, in comparison, the Nexus player is again an Intel-based system. It has a 1.8 GHz quad-core Intel Atom processor powering the device. It has Imagination Power VR Series 6 graphics with a 2D, 3D engine in it. It has 1 GB of memory, so half the memory of the ADT-1. It also has half the storage. It has 8 GB of internal storage. The Wi-Fi is the same. It has 802.11 AC dual band, but the Bluetooth on the Nexus player is Bluetooth 4.1 instead of the 4.0 on this device. The Nexus player does not have an Ethernet port, but it does have the HDMI port on it. Of course, both devices are running the same software, which is again based off of Android Lollipop. So there is a slight difference between the two devices. Now, this device, the ADT-1, only came with a game controller. It did not come with a dedicated remote, although you can download an app to use on your Android device to use as a remote control. This is the gamepad that came with the device. The only difference between the gamepad that you're going to get with the Nexus player is that it says ASUS up top. It doesn't say it up here. You have your inline analog sticks here, and A, B, X, Y, your D-pad here, you have a on-off button here, home button, a back button, then you have bumper and triggers here. Much like an OnLive controller. A lot of people brought that to my attention. It's probably actually identical to an OnLive controller, except down here on an OnLive controller, you had play control buttons down there, which you don't have here. Now, the controller will go to sleep if you don't use it. So when I'm not using the app, and I'm using this controller to control the Android TV device, sometimes it'll just go to sleep. So what you do to wake it up is you just hold that button down, it'll turn it back on, it'll sync up with the Android TV device again through Bluetooth, and then you're ready to go. And your basic controls are A and B, back and play, or select here. Of course, you have your home button that I use a lot there too. And of course, the directional, because you want to navigate around. Now, the consumer product, the Nexus player, actually comes with a remote, and then optionally you can get the game controller. So some slight differences between the two, and again I will highlight any differences that I notice once I actually get my hands on the Nexus player. But right now we're just going to give you a full review of what I think of the Android TV platform, and my only way to get my hands on it right now is my ADT-1. So what you see here is the full interface on Android TV, and I have to say it's a definite upgrade from Google TV. Google TV was a little too confused in all the things that it did. and it really didn't do anything specifically well. Especially the user interface I found was very confusing. The controller that you got with it, which generally was a remote with a full QWERTY keyboard on it, really never worked very well. Now don't get me wrong, it worked, but it was just a little bit janky at times. That's not the case with Android TV. Android TV is very straightforward, very easy to use, but just let's take a look at the interface. In the upper right-hand corner you have the time. In the upper left-hand corner you have the microphone search. So, if you have the remote that comes with the Nexus player, or if you have your Android TV app installed on your Android device, you're going to be able to speak to this and just ask it to search for things. I'll show you that in a second. Now, the next thing that you see are a row of highlighted items. As you can see, the first thing is something from a Food Network app that I have downloaded. Then you have another one, which is Chopped. Then you have some things from Google Play. Movies, the X-Men movie. TV shows like The Walking Dead. Then it goes back to my Food Network app. Then it has my Transformers Dark of the Moon movie that I actually got for free, I believe, for purchasing the Nexus 7 a couple of years ago. So that's again something off of Google Play. So as you can see here, there's a whole host of things that are highlighted here. Now below these selections here, these recommendations, you have the apps that you actually have installed on your Android TV device. So the first one is the Google Play Store. Second one is Google Play Games. Netflix, movies and TV from Google Play, Plex, YouTube, Food Network, Crackle, Pandora, and Hulu Plus. Now below that are games that I've downloaded. Wind Up Night, Reaper, Meltdown, Walking Dead Season 2, and Soulcraft. And then below that you have the settings icon and then your Wi-Fi icon. Now again, this device you could hook up with an Ethernet cord. But it seems like all the consumer-facing Android TV devices are going to have Wi-Fi only. But it's pretty simple. You just have a line of apps or icons, and you just go to it and you select it. And let's go to the Google Play Store just so you can see the transition. Now I like the transition when you actually select something. It actually kind of shows you that you're going into it. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. There you go. So you see the interface is very simple. Right now the apps that you can download for an Android TV device are very limited. And we can go through them all right now because there are not many of them. So the first selection is entertainment apps. You see you have NBA Game Time, you have MLB.TV, you have the Food Network, which I have downloaded, you have PBS Kids, Bloomberg TV, Videos, Android TV, TED TV, Crackle, which I have downloaded, Plex for Plex Pass. Now I'll get into that in a second, but just remember it's Plex for Plex Pass. Red Bull TV, HuffPost Live for Android TV, Drama Fever, and I apologize, my cat is actually playing with one of his toys there. AOL On for Android TV, Dailymotion, Netflix, Hulu Plus, Pluto TV, Haystacks TV, and then Madefire Motion Books and Comics. So that's it for entertainment apps. We're going to go down to music apps, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Music Match TV, TuneIn Radio, Songza TV, TuneIn Radio Pro, and that's it for music apps. What you'll notice, what's missing here, is Google Music. Google Music is not on this device yet. And that's something that Amazon did for the Amazon Fire TV. When it launched, you couldn't listen or link your Amazon Music library to your Amazon Fire TV. That's different now. A couple months after the device launched, you now can listen to music on your Amazon Fire TV. So I would expect in the future you're going to be able to see Google Music on this device. But as of right now, it's not there. Next up we have TV remote games. Now these are games that are optimized for the remote. Despicable Me, Hungry Shark Evolution, Tabletop Racing, Orberun, Running Shadow for TV, Ski Force 2014, Red Bull Air Race, Pac-Man, Tap the Frog, Going, Gone, Badland, Ninja Hero Cats, Berserkle, Riptide GP, Dragonfly Full, and Red Ball. So that's it for the optimized games for your TV remote. Then we have casual games for gamepads. Again, this device came with a gamepad, but if you buy the Nexus player, you're going to have to purchase the gamepad separately. So you have Leo's Fortune, Clark, Beach Buggy Racing, Castle of Illusion, Bomb Squad, Shadow Blade, Rabbids Big Bang, The Bridge, Radiant, Fireman, Darklands Premium, Farm Invasion USA, Wonder Zoo, Save the Puppies, God of Light, Tech 3001, Beyond Youth HD, and that's it. So those are the casual games for gamepads. Now we're going to action games for gamepads. Soulcraft 2, Meltdown Premium, which I think, for me, I'm not really a gamer anymore. I used to be a gamer, but I don't know, games just don't do it for me like they used to. But so far, the games that I've played on this device, I liked Meltdown Premium the best. You might be familiar with it. I've seen it on other platforms. You got Modern Combat 4, Soul Calibur, The Wolf Among Us, Asphalt 8 Airborne, The Walking Dead Season 1, The Walking Dead Season 2, The Bard's Tale, Double Dragon Trilogy, Radiant Defense, Wayward Souls, RPG, Alpha Dia, Real Boxing, 1941 Frozen Front, Indy 500 Arcade Racing, Reaper, RPG Symphony of the Origin, King of Fighters 98, RPG Record of Agarist War, and Final Fantasy III. And that's it for action games for gamepads. So as you can see, the apps on this device are limited, but the device, the platform, is just launching. So you should expect this to expand in the future. And as you can see on the, if I go all the way to the left, you see that there's an actual menu here. So you can just jump straight into that menu and then go into the apps there. Go all the way to the left and it brings back that menu there. So very easy, dead simple to navigate this thing. Settings here, dive into it, you have your purchase passwords and then your content filtering. Now some of these games are free and some you pay to play. So that is pretty much everything in the Google Play Store right now on Android TV. So let's back out of here. And it brings you back to the main menu here. So we already looked at the Google Play Store. Let's just take a look at games for Google Play. Let's dive into here. And as you see that transition, I really like that transition. Graphically, very pleasing. So this is where you have your profile, your gamer profile. I don't really get too in-depth into this, but this is where you'd manage your profile. You have players, find games, and then your inbox here. Of course, you can delve into here, my profile. These are the games I've played on here. And as you can see, as I go over a selection, the background changes to something that corresponds with what your selection is. Now, the next selection here, players, I'm not going to go in depth here because it actually gives you names, but this actually recommends people that you might know and games that they're playing. Find games, and then you have your inbox here. My inbox is empty. Now, let's go into Netflix here. Now, you'll notice that this is the most recent Netflix interface, very usable and graphically rich. The Amazon Fire TV recently upgraded to this, and I'm glad to see that happening, but very user-friendly, and as you can see here, you have your different filters, and then you can take a look at these movies here, and then it gives you a very nice layout on the top, a little synopsis, and then some pictures that filter through. So very nice interface here, and everything's incredibly snappy on here, as you can see here. Now, one of the things I tend to do sometimes is watch Netflix and then maybe fall asleep while I'm watching Netflix. So what I really like out of a streamer is if the streamer just goes to sleep on its own, and then the TV will turn off on its own when it finds out that there's no input going to it. That's not really the case with this device, and it's not the case with a lot of streamers. In fact, I've only seen it with some Blu-ray players. So a lot of the times I'll set a timer, a sleep timer on the television to turn it off after about an hour and a half or 2 hours or so. That way I know it's not going to be running all night. But the one thing I've noticed with this device when I have not done that is that if you're in a Google property or one of the other menus, it will, when it's inactive, it will go to a screensaver mode. In Netflix, that doesn't happen. Now, I don't know if that's something on Netflix's end. I don't know if that's something on the Android side of things. Not a huge deal. Most people are not going to encounter it, but if you're somebody like myself who falls asleep with Netflix on, it's just something to note. So I'm going to hit the home button here. We're going to dump out of here. I just wanted to, I would love to show you some content on here, but I don't want to infringe on anybody's copyright, so I'll just have to explain to you the situations I encountered. The Google Play movies, I don't really have any TV shows, but it would work the same way. Like I said, I have this Transformers movie I got for free when I purchased a Nexus 7 a couple years back, and it plays beautifully. The streaming on this is excellent. Now, personally, I don't have a lot of my purchases through Google Play. I use Amazon when I purchase music, and generally I'll purchase a DVD. I want a physical copy. Sometimes I'll do ultraviolet, so very rarely will I buy streaming content. But I do buy television shows, and when I do buy them through Amazon. So right now I can't view that through the Android TV device, because there is no Amazon client on this device. So basically, if you want to watch content on here that you've purchased, the only way I can find to watch it is through Google Play. So you have to have your library purchased through Google Play. Hopefully, in the future, you're going to see things like Vudu, you're going to see things like Amazon on this device. Because you see them on Android on phones, but you're just not seeing it right now on this device. And again, it's a brand new device, so you can't expect all the apps to be available at this point in time. Now, I wish I could show you, and I probably will be able to show you on the YouTube app. But let's say I'm watching Transformers. Again, I really wish I could show you this, but I don't want to get into any copyright infringement problems on my channel here. But if I was playing Transformers on here, and I wanted to dump back out to the menu, I could hit the home button, and as you see in the background there, that background will be the movie actually playing. So the movie will play in the background as you can, go through your menus here, and you can either go back to the movie if you'd like, or you can go into another app, and then it'll switch into another app. That does not work with Netflix. It does work with the Google properties, such as YouTube, and then of course Google Play, Movies, and TV. So the next thing I want to show you here, or talk about, is Plex. Now, a lot of people like Plex. I'm not really somebody who watches a movie more than once. I'm not somebody who has a lot of media on my home server. But I know there are a lot of you out there who do. So I've been doing a lot of research on Plex lately, and I did a couple sample pieces of media that I put on my home Plex server, just so I could test out these devices. Now, there are two tiers on Plex. There's the free version, where basically you run a Plex server on a computer in your house, on your home wireless network or your home wired network. You have your media on that computer, and then you can serve it up to other devices or televisions throughout your house as long as you have a Plex client on a streaming media box connected to your television set or some way, whether it's through a gaming system, whether it's through DLNA, you can access your Plex content that way. The basic tier is a free tier. Then there's a premium model of Plex, where you can pay anywhere from a monthly to a yearly to a one-time lifetime fee. And what that enables you to do is view your content outside of your home wireless network. So you can, when you're on the road and you have your tablet or you have your cell phone or you're at somebody else's house and you want to access your Plex server, the Plex Pass premium tier is what allows you to do that, and that's what you pay the money for. I don't have the Plex Pass premium tier. So the Plex app on the Amazon Fire TV allows you to access your home wireless network or your home wired network, whatever, your Plex server on your home network. Now, Plex for the Amazon Fire TV is a $5 app. Unfortunately, on Android TV at this time, the Plex app is for Plex Pass only. So it's only for the premium tier. So I have my Plex server on in my attic. I'm going to enter Plex here. So what it wants me to do is sign in to my Plex server and enter this code. So this will associate my Android TV with my Plex server. Now, I've already done this once before, but Again, I had this device when it was in beta still. Now this is pretty much the software that you're dealing with on this device for the consumer models that are coming out very shortly. You might be watching this when Android TV has already shipped, but at the time of filming this video, the Nexus player has yet to ship. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I had to actually refresh the code there because I just verified that my Plex server was up and running. I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up here. And I'm signed into my Plex server in my attic, and now what I'm doing is I went to the website plex.tv/pin, and I am going to sign in there and then enter in this code. So I'm signed in, and I'm going to enter in that code. I'm going to hit connect. Now on my web page here it says pin activated, you're all set. Plex for Android is now connected to Plex. Thanks for using Plex. So there we go. Welcome to Plex. Plex Pass Preview. Plex Pass required. Now this is the thing. We're sorry, but this version of Plex requires an active Plex Pass subscription. You can either purchase Plex from the appropriate marketplace or pick up a subscription today. Now, just so you know, at the time of filming this video, there are 3 tiers for Plex Pass. There's a monthly, which is $4.99 a month, which is reasonable if you're going to be somebody who streams a lot of media from your home wireless network or your home network to wherever you're going to be. The yearly fee is $39.99, so $40 a year, definitely a savings. Or the lifetime fee, a one-time lifetime fee, is $149.99. Now, unfortunately for me, none of those make sense because, again, I don't use Plex personally. I'm only delving into it to help you guys out and give you the information that you need. Again, on the Amazon Fire TV, you can buy a $4.99 app, which allows you to use Plex without having Plex Pass. On Android TV at this time, you can't. And that's unfortunate because, again, it lowers the functionality of this device. So next up, let's just take a look at a couple of the interfaces of some of these apps here. So Food Network, again, I love that transition there when you dive into an app. But here's what the Food Network app is. And basically, I don't think this actually gives you full shows. Let's just dive in here and see. Actually, it does. Okay, it does give you full shows. It does give you clips of shows as well. So it's actually a really nice app. I know a lot of these actually just hit Netflix, like Chopped and some of the other shows. But if you don't have Netflix, this is an excellent way to watch some of the shows for free. Again, it's giving you, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes of different seasons. You have Season 8, Season 11, Season 16, Season 17. So it's not giving you, all the episodes in chronological order, but it is giving you some episodes. If you want the full episodes, you're going to either have to purchase them somewhere, or if you have Netflix, again, Chopped, just hit Netflix, so you can watch all the episodes there. So you have some featured clips here, or actually, let's see, I think these are clips. Let's go into here. Yeah, these are clips. So the top selection there is the featured clips, and then you can actually go into the shows, which again are selected shows. Now, I'm navigating all of this with the game controller, and I'm using the B button as a back and the A button as a select. If you're using the Android app, it would be a back button or a select button. So here you go. It shows you all the different chefs for the shows. And let's just go into Alton Brown here, and it gives you a little bio. Gives you episodes of, actual full episodes of things that he's done. Again, not full seasons, but a selection here. Then you have clips down here. Then you have your settings below that. So it's kind of a cool app. Again, it could be a little bit more full-featured, but I guess they would want to charge for something like that. They don't want to give that away for free, which is quite understandable. They've got to make a living. Everybody does. Next up is Crackle. Now, Crackle is a Sony property, and it's their streaming media service, and it allows you to watch certain movies, selected movies, and TV shows and whatnot for free. Now, the one thing about Crackle is that it's commercial supported. There are actual commercials that will pop into whatever you're watching. And it's done kind of unceremoniously. If you're watching a movie, it'll just cut right to a commercial. Fortunately, it'll bring you back to where you were watching, so you're not going to miss out on anything. And it's not edited. These things are, they're movies in their entirety, but they are, again, commercial. It is, again, commercial supported, because you're not paying for this. It's all for free. So when I dive into the movie selection here, you see Crackle, you have the featured movies, most popular, recently added, action, comedy, crime, documentary, horror, music, sci-fi, thriller, and all movies. Let's just go down to all movies here and see what it looks like. It doesn't look like it's populating here. On the right-hand side, this should be populating with some titles here, but strangely enough, it's not. Let's go into TV shows. And yeah, for some reason it's not populating here, which is interesting because this device is very snappy. But there we go. There we go. Okay. So that's what it looks like. You have your artwork on the right-hand side there. These are the featured ones. Again, really snappy as far as, selecting them. As you can see, there's a lot of things to watch here in all different kinds of genres. So it's nice to have. Crackle I fall back on sometimes, not too often, but it's nice to actually have it on the device. Again, you can back out of these things by hitting, in my case with the game controller, the B button, or you can just hit the home button and it brings you all the way back home here. So let's go to the next one. Now, Pandora, in every other video previous to this, in all streaming media box reviews that I've done on my channel, which have been quite a few, I never had a Pandora account. Well, finally I added a Pandora account just so I can give you an idea of what to expect. Now, unfortunately, I can't say, hey, let's listen to a song together, because as I was saying there, because when I launched Pandora, it just launched into a song here. And again, I have to edit that out. I'd love to just listen to a song with you here, but I don't want to get into a copyright kerfuffle here. I just want to show you and tell you what to expect. So Pandora works very nicely on this device, and if you dump out of Pandora, you can actually listen to Pandora still. So if I didn't have this on pause right now, and I hit the home button, you'd still hear Pandora playing in the background, which is really nice. Again, like the Google properties on here, when you dump out to the menu, it still plays in the background. Whether it's a video, it'll play in the background, or in this case, audio. Now, there was something in here that they don't have anymore. It was sort of a tutorial that I was saving for this video. In this top selection here of featured things, there was a little tutorial here that I never clicked on, and it's not there anymore. I was saving it for this video, so I can't show you that. But and then Hulu Plus is the last selection here. I don't have a Hulu Plus subscription, but we're just going to jump into it here. I would assume it's the Hulu Plus that you're used to if you do have Hulu Plus. And let's just back out of here. Well, it looks like I really went in depth on this review. And that's a good thing, because I get you the information that you might be interested in actually using the device. So it's a real in-depth review, and I'm going to have to cut it here. Believe it or not, we're going to have to make 2 parts out of this review. Now, in part 2, we're going to cover the YouTube app, we're going to cover a game, and I'm going to show you the Android app that you can use to control this device. Now, you might be wondering what's in this box here. Well, when I filmed this review, I only had the ADT-1 Android TV device. I had my Nexus player on order. Now, TechHarvest isn't my day job. I do it in my spare time. So it's been taking me a little bit longer than I had hoped to edit this video. And in the time between me filming this video and me editing and posting the video, I got my Nexus player here, but I haven't opened it yet. So I got a lot of exciting things coming up on the channel here. I'm going to do an unboxing of the Nexus player. I'm going to do a quick review of the Nexus player, basically just adding on to what I'm showing you in this video and in part 2 of this video. And I've also got a Chromebook to unbox. I have a Chromebook to compare to the HP laptop. I also have another inexpensive Windows laptop to unbox, and a whole host of other videos. So stay tuned to this channel. I've got a lot of stuff coming within the next month or so. And that's going to do it for this video. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up, favorite this video, or share this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.